two House Democrats, for their part, are calling specifically for the FBI Director Christopher Wray to open up a criminal probe into President Trump's Saturday call to Georgia's Secretary of State. Here's more of what the president said on that call.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes. There's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
All right, given what we just heard out of that news conference, we are now joined by one of the House Democrats who sent that letter, California Congressman Ted Lieu. He is a member of the Judiciary Committee. Congressman, great to have you with us. Let's just react, if we can, for a moment to the breaking news that we heard there coming out of Georgia. Really that point-by-point rebuke of the president and the claims he has been making, but also more specifically to what you called for today, an investigation from the FBI into this. Any reaction to what you heard there from Georgia election official Gabriel Sterling?
Thank you for your question. That was a stunning takedown of all the bizarre conspiracy theories that Donald Trump and his enablers have put forward. And it really shows you how out of touch Donald Trump has been. And it's not just out of touch. Donald Trump has now been committing crimes. He's the most powerful man in the world, and he was threatening the Georgia Secretary of State to essentially commit election fraud.
Were you at all surprised that the office, he had not yet confirmed, or he said he was not aware there, Gabriel Sterling, of whether or not the office of the Secretary of State would open an investigation or call on the Fulton County DA or the Georgia Attorney General to launch an investigation? Do you have any news on that front in terms of what you specifically called for from the FBI today?
I don't have any news on the Georgia election officials front, and Mr. Sterling might not be the person in the position to refer such a case to the relevant law enforcement authorities. What I do know is that the Georgia State Code is very clear. It is a crime to solicit election fraud, and that's what Donald Trump did over and over again on his 1-hour phone call with the Georgia Secretary of State.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about why you and Congresswoman Kathleen Royce of New York decided to refer this to FBI Director Christopher Wray. Have you had any response so far from the FBI that you can share with us?
Sure. So Congresswoman Rice and I are both former prosecutors, and when we heard that phone call, it was very clear to us that crimes had been committed on that call. Specifically, under 52 U.S.C. Section 2511, you cannot knowingly and willingly essentially attempt election fraud. And that's what Donald Trump did when he told the Georgia Secretary of State to go find 11,780 votes. That's a very specific number. It's one more than he needs to win the state of Georgia. He also told the Georgia Secretary of State to recalculate the votes. And both of those statements would constitute an attempt at election fraud. We only sent a letter this morning, so the FBI does take some time to investigate, so we don't expect a response immediately.
Let me ask you really quickly before I get to what this means for the president, even potentially pardoning himself. My colleague Garrett Haake was reporting on Capitol Hill, Representative Hakeem Jeffries, among others, not necessarily concerned with looking back or opening an investigation into this phone call. What would you say to Representative Hakeem Jeffries if you had a difference of opinion about whether or not this call should be investigated? He wants to look forward and the incoming Biden administration not focus on this call.
I think it's fine to look forward. At the same time, law enforcement should do what they do, which is investigate potential crimes, and then it will be up to the prosecutors to decide whether or not they want to charge those crimes. It's very clear that the evidence is now in broad daylight. There's at least a 1-hour recording, and the FBI needs to authenticate that recording, verify that people are who they say they are on that recording, and then conduct an investigation and then hand it to the prosecutors for a decision.
What do you make about the potential setup if, in fact, this investigation is launched, that the president could potentially try to pardon himself?
So, first of all, the president cannot pardon anyone for state crimes, and the president also cannot pardon himself. No legal expert that has any credibility says that the president can pardon himself. That completely goes against what the Supreme Court has said in the past, which is that no one is above the law, including the President of the United States.
All right, let me play for you, if I can, also about what the president might do next. This is the kind of advice he is getting inside the White House. Watch this.
January 20th cannot be changed. That's constitutional. But this whole certification thing, the dates can be changed.
Well, it can be changed,
anyway,
actually.
Peter
we can
Navarro.
go past that date. We can go past that date.
Oh.
We can go past that date if we need to.
All right. Unfortunately, a quick fact check for our viewers. Peter Navarro there is dead wrong. The 20th Amendment to the Constitution sets the date of the inauguration, not the president. Congressman, how much does it concern you that these people are the people that the president is getting his advice from?
Well, Peter Navarro is right in the sense that we could blow past that date with nothing happening, in which case Speaker Pelosi would become president of the United States, which I'm totally fine with. But I am concerned that Peter Navarro is giving all sorts of wrong advice to Donald Trump. And it's really his enablers that have made it worse in what Donald Trump is doing. And hopefully we have more and more Republicans stand up, such as a number of Republican senators and House members who have said that they will not object to Electoral College results on Wednesday.
All right, Congressman Ted Lieu of California, sir, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate your time and patience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.